Hey, listen. Trust isn't just some little token you toss around, hoping someone out there will value it. You offered it up like it meant something. And what did they do? They crushed it, stomped on it without a second thought. That's the funny thing about people, isn't it? They see a flicker of light, something pure, something real, and they can't help but try to snuff it out. Why? Because they don't understand it. They're so wrapped up in their own shadows, their own filth, that when they see something genuine, it scares them, makes them feel weak, so they twist it, they betray it. They betray you. And now you're left there with that empty feeling gnawing away inside, wondering what went wrong. Let me tell you something. Nothing went wrong on your end. You showed them your cards, opened your hands, and let them see what was inside. But they were holding a knife behind their back the entire time, waiting for that perfect moment to stick it in. You think it's gonna change? You think the next one, the next face with that friendly smile is gonna be different? No, because they don't know what trust means. They don't get loyalty. They don't even get pain, not like you do. See, you're out here still hoping for something real, while they're all just looking for their next game, their next thrill, their next victim. Trust is for fools, and kindness is for the ones who haven't learned the truth yet. But you're learning, aren't you? This is your wake-up call. This is the moment you finally see the world for what it is. A twisted little circus, with everyone pretending, everyone acting, and no one really caring. So now you stand up, you take that pain, that shattered trust, and you let it burn. Let it fuel you. They thought they'd break you, but all they did was light a fire inside you they're never gonna put out. Remember that. Because from now on, you're not giving anyone a free pass. From now on, you play by your own rules. You gave them a piece of yourself, didn't you? Showed them parts you don't show the world. Thought, maybe, just maybe, they'd be different, that they'd understand. But they didn't. They took that part of you, and they laughed. Laughed behind your back, like it was some kind of joke. Like you were the joke. And that's what hurts the most, isn't it? Not the betrayal itself, not even the pain they caused, but the realization that they never even saw you. You trusted them with your scars, the ones you kept hidden from everyone else. You thought they'd see those marks and know the story behind each one. But instead, they added more cuts. And for what? Their own twisted fun? Their own little power trip? Let me tell you something, kid. This world is full of people like that. They'll smile in your face, act like they care, and then they turn around and spit on everything you gave them. They'll take and take, until there's nothing left but the shell of who you used to be. And if you let them, they'll keep coming back, keep feeding off of every last bit of hope you've got. But not anymore. Oh, no, not after today. Today, you get it, don't you? Today, you see the truth in those smiles, those empty promises. Today you realize that every time you reached out, every time you opened up, you were handing them a weapon they used to cut you down. But don't you dare think for a second that makes you weak. Don't you dare. See, trusting someone, that takes strength, real strength. Takes courage to show someone your darkness and let them walk into it. But from here on out, you don't show that to just anyone. You don't hand out that kind of power so freely. No. Now you take that trust and keep it where it belongs, inside, locked up tight. Because guess what? They'll come back. Maybe not the same people, maybe not the same faces, but others just like them. They'll show up with sweet words, soft eyes, and a promise that they're different. But you'll know better. You'll see right through that act. And the best part? They'll never see it coming. Because now, you're the one with the power. You're the one who knows the game. You've learned their tricks, learned what makes them tick, and they have no idea that you're watching every move, waiting for them to slip, and they will. They always do. The world, it's not a kind place. It's a place that preys on the weak, the trusting, the ones who still think there's good out there. You tried that route. You tried playing nice, tried giving them the benefit of the doubt. And where did it get you? Bruised, broken, left in the dark, with nothing but questions. But those questions, forget them. You don't need answers from anyone. You don't need closure. You don't need some grand apology, and you definitely don't need them to change. They never will. People like them, they don't feel remorse. They don't feel guilt. All they feel is a hollow satisfaction from knowing they took someone down a peg. But guess what? You're not down. They think they broke you, but all they did was make you smarter, colder, and a hell of a lot harder to manipulate. They took your kindness for weakness, thought they could mold you to their liking, thought they could control you. But they were wrong. Now, you're free. Free of their expectations, free of their lies, free of the burden of trying to fit into some twisted image they had of you. And that freedom, it's your weapon, because now you're untouchable. You're not the same person who walked into that trap with wide eyes and an open heart. No. Now you're the one who sees through the smoke, who can smell the lies a mile away. So here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna take that trust, that shattered mess they left you with, and you're gonna rebuild, piece by piece. Not for them, not for anyone else, but for you. You're gonna take every lesson, every ounce of pain, every tear you shed and turn it into armor. And when they come knocking again, and they will, mark my words, they always come back. They'll crawl back, wondering why you're not the same, wondering why you don't fall at their feet like before. And you know what you'll do? You'll smile. You'll smile because now you know the truth. Now you see them for what they are: empty, hollow, and pathetic. They had their chance. They could have been real, could have stood by your side, could have been something true, but they threw it all away, didn't they? For a cheap thrill, for a laugh, for the satisfaction of seeing someone else in pain. And that's all they'll ever be: shallow, selfish, and alone. But you've got something they'll never have: strength, real strength, because you survived what they did to you. And that's something no one can ever take away. So, what's left now, huh? Just you. And that ache, that twisted, raw ache they left you with. The funny thing is, they probably don't even realize the damage they did. They're out there, laughing, forgetting, moving on to their next game, their next fool. But you're here, picking up the pieces, trying to make sense of it all. And it hurts, doesn't it? That pit in your chest that never really goes away. That emptiness they left behind. But here's the catch. Most people let that emptiness consume them. They let it eat away at what little hope they've got left. But not you. Not anymore. You're gonna take that emptiness, that hole they drilled right through you, and you're gonna fill it with something else. Not kindness, not forgiveness. No, no, no. You're gonna fill it with power. A power they can't touch. A power that's born from every ounce of pain, every drop of blood, every sleepless night they caused you. Because that's the trick, see? They want you broken. They want you weak, down on your knees, begging for scraps of respect, just a morsel of care. They want you to need them. But you don't need them. You never did. And now that they're gone, now that they showed their true colors, you're finally free to become something they'll never understand. Something stronger, something untouchable. They want you to be afraid to trust again, want you to shut yourself off from the world, caged by the hurt they caused. But that's not what you're gonna do. You're not gonna lock yourself away, hide in the shadows, afraid of getting hurt. No, you're gonna walk through this world with your eyes wide open, scars and all, unafraid. Because now you know. Now you see things as they are. You were naive, maybe, open, and that scared them. You showed them real emotion, real depth, and it made them uncomfortable because they're empty. They don't know what it means to feel deeply, to believe in something, to care about someone beyond themselves. They're shallow, just skimming the surface of life, always looking for the next distraction, the next fix. They don't know what it means to hurt like you do, to feel things with the intensity you do. But that intensity, that's your edge. They tried to tear you down because they sensed it. The power you hold, the resilience, the fire inside you. And people like them, they hate what they can't control. So they tried to break you, tried to turn that fire into ashes. But they failed, didn't they? Because here you are, and you're still burning. And that fire, it's gonna keep you warm when everyone else is shivering. It's gonna guide you through the darkest nights, when there's no one else around, when the world feels cold and empty. They thought they were leaving you alone, thought they were punishing you. But all they did was give you a gift of freedom, of clarity, of strength. So you take that strength and you wear it like armor. Not to hide behind, not to shield yourself from the world, but to walk through it unafraid. Let them see the scars. Let them see the hurt. Wear it all out, in the open, because that's what makes you real. That's what makes you dangerous. They tried to shame you for being vulnerable, tried to make you feel small for caring. But caring, that's the most powerful thing you can do. Not for them, no, never for them, but for yourself, for the ones who deserve it, the ones who won't shatter it on a whim. But you'll choose those people wisely now, won't you? You won't be so quick to hand out pieces of yourself to just anyone. You've learned what it costs, learned what happens when you trust the wrong soul. And that's not a lesson you're ever gonna forget. You're not a fool for trusting. You're not weak for giving them a chance. That's on them. They're the ones who threw it away, who took something precious and stomped on it. And one day, they'll realize it. They'll look around and see that every single person they ever pushed away was someone they could have counted on, someone who would have had their back. But by then, it'll be too late. They'll be surrounded by the same shallow, empty souls they chased after. And they'll wonder why no one's there for them. But not you. No, you'll have something real. You'll have people who see you, who value you, who've earned the trust you're willing to give. And those people, they'll know what it's worth. They'll cherish it, because they'll have been through the same fires. And together, you'll build something unbreakable, something no one can touch. So let them laugh, let them mock, let them turn their backs. It doesn't matter. They can't hurt you anymore. They already took their best shot, and here you are, still standing, stronger than before, wiser, a little bit colder, maybe, but oh, so much sharper. You're not their puppet, not their punching bag, not some pawn they can use and discard. You're done with that game. You're in control now. And every time they look at you, every time they see the person you've become, they'll be reminded of what they threw away. They'll see the fire in your eyes, the strength in your step, and they'll know, deep down, they messed up. So carry that with you. Let that be your fuel, your drive. Not to prove them wrong, not to get back at them, but to build yourself into someone they could never even dream of being. To rise so high, so unbreakable that their words, their lies, their betrayals, they're nothing but dust at your feet. They thought they could bury you, thought they could leave you in the dark, but you're gonna rise from it, taller, fiercer, untouchable. And when they come back around, trying to worm their way back in, you won't need to say a word, just a look, a cold, hard stare that says it all. You had your chance, and you blew it. From here on out, you live for yourself, for those who matter, for the ones who see your value, who see the fire and respect it. Let them be the ones who earn a place beside you. Let them be the ones you trust. Because trust, that's not something you give lightly anymore. Not after what you've been through. And that's what makes it worth so much. That's what makes you dangerous. Because now, you know the price. And you're not about to let just anyone near it. They took their best shot. They tried to break you. But all they did was make you stronger. All they did was make you untouchable. You see the beauty of all this? It's in what they didn't expect. They thought they'd break you, thought you'd be left crawling in the dust, wondering why you weren't good enough. That's their game. They live to plant doubts, to watch others struggle with questions they don't deserve answers to. They want you to be stuck on them, trapped by memories, replaying every word, every lie they fed you, as if there's something left to figure out. But guess what? There's nothing left to understand. They showed you exactly who they were when they turned their back, when they chose to hurt you rather than stand by you. And that's all you need to know. You don't owe them your mind, your time, or one single second more of your energy. They took enough already, and now it's over. That chapter, closed. See, they don't get it. People like them, they walk through life with a mask, fooling themselves into thinking they're strong, that they're in control. But you and I both know what real strength looks like. Real strength. It's not about hurting others to feel big or lying to get what you want. It's about standing firm even when you're surrounded by people trying to knock you down. It's about holding your ground when everyone around you wants to see you fall. They didn't break you. They just woke you up. They forced you to see the world without those rose-colored glasses you used to wear. Made you see things as they are. And yeah, maybe it's a little darker than you'd hoped. Maybe people aren't as good, as kind, as trustworthy as you once believed. But that's reality. And now, you're ready for it. Now, you're equipped. Every time someone smiles too easily, every time a hand reaches out a little too eagerly, you'll know what to look for. You'll see through those false pretenses, those hollow promises. You'll know better than to believe the first words out of someone's mouth. You'll be ready to dig deeper, to look closer, to question. Because trusting someone now, that's not just a casual decision anymore. It's an act of war. It's saying, I know the cost, I know what I'm risking, and I'm willing to see if you're worth it. You're not giving out freebies. They'll have to earn it. And if they don't like that, if they don't want to put in the work, then they were never worth it to begin with. They'll call you cold, call you hard, say you're distant. And maybe you are. Maybe you've become the very thing they always accused you of being. But there's freedom in that. Because when you finally stop caring about what they think, stop letting their opinions rule your mind, you get to live for yourself. And that's something they'll never understand. They're too busy seeking approval, trying to fit in, bending over backward just to feel accepted. But you're done with that. You're not chasing anyone's acceptance, anyone's validation. You don't need them to tell you your worth. You know it. And that terrifies them, because they can't control someone who doesn't crave their approval. And when they look at you, they'll see that change. They'll see someone who's done playing by their rules, someone who doesn't flinch, doesn't hesitate, doesn't need their approval to feel whole. That kind of confidence, that kind of certainty, it's rare, it's powerful, and it's something they'll never have. They'll spend their entire lives trying to find it, trying to fill that void with empty pleasures, empty words, empty people. And still, they'll be left wanting, left chasing a feeling they'll never truly find. But you're not empty. You're whole. Whole because you survived what they did to you. Whole because you learned to stand on your own 2 feet when no one else was there. Whole because you know the price and didn't let it kill you. Now every scar they left, every bruise, every sleepless night, every tear, it's all part of the armor. An armor forged in fire, hardened in pain, sharpened by every single lie, every single act of cruelty. And that armor, it's unbreakable. They'll see you walking tall, strong, untouched by their games, and it'll eat them alive. They'll wonder how you did it, wonder how you came out the other side stronger than before. But they'll never know, because they couldn't walk a mile in your shoes. They couldn't handle a fraction of the pain you've endured. They'd crumble under the weight of their own emptiness. So let them have their games. Let them have their little victories. None of it matters in the end. Because while they're out there, lost, searching for the next thrill, you're building something real. You're creating a life that's untouchable, a life that's yours, free from their poison. They can keep their shallow lies, their backhanded compliments, their two-faced smiles. They don't mean anything to you anymore. You're done trying to find meaning where there's none. Done giving them the benefit of the doubt. Done wasting time on people who only bring you down. Now, you live for yourself, for your dreams, your peace, your future. A future they'll never be part of. And that's the ultimate revenge. Not anger, not bitterness, not even hatred, but Matikri, not pre and the kind of indifference that says, you don't matter to me, you never did. Let them stew in their own mess. Let them wonder why you've moved on, why you're untouchable, because they'll never get it. They'll never understand that they were the ones who set you free. They were the ones who forced you to see your own strength, your own worth, your own power. And they'll never take that from you. Not now, not ever. You walk forward and you don't look back. Not even a glance. Because the past, it's dead. Those people, they're ghosts. Shadows that fade with every step you take. And every step, it's a step toward a life where you call the shots, where you're in control, where no one gets to decide your worth but you. Remember that every time someone tries to get close, every time they flash a sweet smile, every time they make promises that sound too good to be true, you remember what it felt like to be lied to be betrayed, and you use that memory as a guide, not as a prison, not as a reason to shut yourself off, but as a reminder that you deserve better, a reminder that you'll never settle for less than respect, than honesty, than real loyalty. And if they can't offer that, if they're just another face in the crowd, just another empty soul looking for their next fix, then you leave them right where they stand, because you're done carrying other people's baggage, done cleaning up their messes, done fixing what you didn't break. From here on out, it's you, and only those who truly deserve a place in your life. You're done with the fake, the shallow, the ones who play games. You're looking for real, for strong, for the ones who've walked through their own fires and come out whole. And if that means walking alone for a while, so be it. Better to walk alone in truth than to be surrounded by liars and thieves, because you're not afraid of being alone anymore. You're not afraid of the silence, not afraid of the darkness. You've been there. You know what it's like. And you came out stronger. So let them live their lives. Let them play their games. None of it touches you anymore. You're in a league of your own now, beyond their reach, beyond their comprehension. And that's your power. That's your victory. They shattered your trust, but all they did was free you. And now you're unstoppable.